Hi, my name is KReynolds, and my senior project focused on Virginia state parks. So back at the end of junior year, when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my senior project, I really wasn't sure what I was interested in, but I knew I wanted to do it over the summer. And Mr. Caraway actually sent out an email talking about YCC, which stands for Youth Conservation Corps, which is a much smaller version of the Civilian Conservation Corps, which was created by FDR in his New Deal. And YCC is focused towards teens, and you work at a state park for 3 weeks and you live there, and you learn about community service and team building. So I applied to YCC and I got assigned to York River State Park, which is near Williamsburg. And state park, York River is a really unique state park because it has an estuary environment where the York River flows with the Chesapeake Bay, and they have kayaking and horse trails, and they have a lake and they have fishing. So I was really excited to work there. So here are the 9 other girls I worked and lived with. We lived in 2 trailers, 5 girls in each trailer. And because I'm an only child, I learned a lot about living with other people, especially 4 other girls, and respecting each other's space and cleaning up after yourself. Making sure everyone gets to use the shower because we only have 1 shower per trailer. So I learned a lot about that, and it'll go with me throughout my life, probably sharing a dorm and having a roommate. So our main projects included creating a vista for the visitors. As you can see right there, that's the York River. And when we first got there, you couldn't see anything. You could barely even see the marsh. And because York River is actually a pretty popular destination for weddings, York River made it its duty to accommodate to the visitors and create a good experience there, so people can see the river from a nearby picnic shelter near here. And so there's a big drop-off, like behind that fence. So 2 guys came in and cut down a bunch of trees, and we would haul them up. They would cut them into smaller pieces, and they would put them in a dump truck and carry that away. That took a long time, maybe like 2 weeks to finish it all up, but we did it. And we also built a split rail fence, as you can see there, to protect people from the drop-off. And then we worked on clearing trails and clearing horse trails, and then we painted the 3 picnic shelters. So here are the 2 guys we worked with the most. That's Chris, he's a full-time employee at York River State Park, and that's Alex. He was a summertime employee, and he actually goes to William & Mary. And so Chris is helping Mary level the fence, and Alex is cutting up brush that we would put in this big dump truck, and then they would take that away to a field and dump it there. It's still in the park, but away from visitors. And here's us working together to carry up a giant log. And I learned a lot about team building, and often when we were working, we found an assembly line, and that made the work a lot more fun and a lot easier. So here are 3 supervisors. That's Emma, Megan, and Emily, and they're all college students, and they're basically there to make sure we were safe and everything was okay, and they worked alongside us as well. As you can see here, there's Megan and me painting picnic shelter. So we didn't always work all the time. On the weekends, we would do other things. We went to Williamsburg, we went to Yorktown, we even went to another state park to go swimming. So it wasn't all work, we had fun too, and I do feel really close with these girls. I'm still in contact with them today, and you make really fast friends when you're working and living together for 3 weeks. So for my research paper, I wanted to answer the question, why do we need to fund state parks, and how can we fund them? So I went to an expert. This is Craig Seaver. He's the director of Virginia State Parks. And I met with him in his Richmond office, and he was very enthusiastic to meet with me. He gave me a lot of information and a lot of packets, and he emailed me after the interview with more spreadsheets and so on. And he feels as though state parks are underfunded, and he thinks state parks really need a steady source of funding because state parks are funded with general funds and with revenue, and they can't always count on the legislature to give them the money they need, and revenue can fluctuate depending on how many visitors visit the park. So we have about 38 state parks. There's a new one coming in with the Natural Bridge, and each year it's been going up about 9 million visitors each year, which is more than Virginia's population, and about 1 million visitors overnight. And state parks are really important to Virginia's economy. Every night someone spends in a state park, they spend about $75 in the surrounding community through like food or gas or other expenses. So here's a short little timeline of funding in the recent years. So in 2014, state parks generated $208 million, which shows that state parks are a big moneymaker, and they only received $17.7 million from the legislature. But in 2015, with our new governor, Terry McAuliffe, who's a big supporter of state parks, he's actually made this duty to visit all of them by the end of his term. State parks received $39 million, and in 2016, Governor McAuliffe proposed $140 million, which is definitely a big leap, but he's trying to incorporate state parks into Virginia's new economy. But the General Assembly cut that by $100 million, and state parks received $41.5 million, which mostly just covered inflation, so it wasn't really a big increase. But so state parks do need more funding because you have to account for all the employees, and they really help rural communities. And another option to help fund state parks is working with private companies. State parks have already partnered with Dominion Power. There's now a information kiosk at every state park donated by Dominion. So for my legacy, I started off working with Dane Whitehead at Powhatan State Park. I just emailed him and asked him like, what projects can I do at Powhatan State Park, and he suggested I work with invasive species of plants and eradicating them. So I went there with a couple other volunteers, including Hannah Herman, and we worked with cutting down black locust trees and then pulling down English ivy off of really big trees. And that was really interesting. Dane Whitehead was really fun to work with, and he said his favorite part of his job is working with volunteers like us. So that got me thinking, what can I do to make this my legacy? I talked to Mr. Caraway, and he suggested I make a website, because they say everything lasts forever on the internet. So I made a website teaching students about what invasive species are and how to identify them and how to kill them. So I talked to Ms. Alford, and she's agreed to incorporate it into her curriculum, and she'll show it to her environmental science kids and biology kids, and they can show this year after year after they graduate. So future plans, I'm going to GVA. Not really sure what I'm going to major in, probably something in the social sciences. And my advice for the future for other students is definitely get it over with during the summer. It's the most free time you're ever going to have. And when you're in class, always make sure you're doing something, be proactive, and don't just let everything fall behind. Questions?
I had a question, Catherine. I saw on your website it talked about how human activity accidentally or intentionally puts invasive species in the environment. How is that? Can you give an example of it?
I think sometimes, like back in the day, they would carry like seeds with them, like when they came over, and then they would plant them, or sometimes they think they're decorative and they plant them, and then
How do they divide the funding up between the 38 state parks? Like, is one park more than the others, or how does that work?
Well, some parks, like, they're building cabins, so that goes to them, and they're always trying to improve state parks. And there's actually 5 other state parks that have yet to be created, so the funding goes towards them as well.
Do you plan to go back and work with the program in the summer again, or be one of like the college students that was kind of overseeing you guys?
I thought about it, but Dane Whitehead, he actually said I could intern there over the summer, maybe paid internship, so I might do that over the summer.
And you got credit for researching the impact, why and how we should fund state parks. What did you find out, like, in terms of specific kind of outcomes? What does the state parks do for the state?
Well, tourism, definitely. They bring people from other states to come to Virginia, and It's definitely a safe place to have recreation. You can do all sorts of things, and it's like they like to say it's like family bonding and also conserving Virginia's natural resources.
Did you find anything specifically about how much, like in terms of the tourism parks? I know that's a big part. Again, you mentioned Governor McCollum. Anything, any numbers on how much it generates for the state?
$208 million now. Yeah. Any other questions?